There are weapons forged for war, and then there are the blood swords. Blades so ancient, so powerful, that even speaking their names can make kings tremble. 5 swords forged from death itself, each containing 1,000 souls, created not for destruction, but for mercy. Today we explore the truth behind the blood swords, their creation, their purpose, and the terrifying legacy they left behind. Before fear twisted his image, before legends painted him as a monster, there was Lord Death, a quiet, solemn figure entrusted with the most sacred duty in the world, to guide souls back into the circle of life. Death was not evil. Death was not cruel. Death was necessary. His role was simple: release souls who were ready to pass on, and allow life to continue its eternal cycle. But over centuries, as kingdoms rose and fell, Lord Death encountered a growing problem. Too many souls clung to life, too many resisted the call, too many were trapped. These souls could not move forward, and their suffering threatened the balance of the world. Lord Death needed help, and so he began forging the tools that would change history forever. To create his weapons, Lord Death required materials no mortal could ever require. First, he sought the mythical metal known as Death's Ore, a substance said to exist where the boundaries between life and afterlife blur. Some believed it lay buried under forgotten graveyards. Others whispered that it formed in the heart of a dying stars. No one ever found it. No one but Lord Death. He shaped this impossible metal into 5 unbreakable blades, each one a masterpiece of divine craftsmanship. But the swords were empty. To function as extensions of his will, each sword needed a reservoir of spiritual energy. A vassal capable of guiding unwilling souls gently or violently into the afterlife. And so, Lord Death made the greatest sacrifice of his immortal existence. He poured 1,000 dormant souls into each blade. Souls he had collected over 1,000 eras. Souls ready for rebirth. This was not an act of cruelty. It was an act of trust. Each of the 5 swords now contain a chorus of resting spirits, bound together not to scream, but to guide. The world would know these weapons as the blood swords. Lord Death never intended to wield these swords himself. Instead, he created 5 reapers, divine assistants, capable of easing the burden of guiding souls. These reapers were meant to bring peace, not terror. With a blood sword in hand, a reaper could see the state of a soul, sense whether someone was ready to pass, gently release suffering spirits, and protecting the living from vengeful undead. These swords were holy tools, but the world saw only death. To mortals, the Reapers looked like executioners. Legends turned into fear, fear turned into hatred, and hatred twisted the truth. When Lord Death eventually vanished from the world, the Reapers disappeared soon after. All that remained were the swords, ownerless, powerful, and misunderstood. And without guidance, they began to call out, not to the worthy, but to the desperate. Blood swords were built for Reapers, not mortals. And mortals were never meant to hold the weight of 1,000 souls. When a human, rat, wolf, beast, or even a captured creature touches a blood sword, several things occur. The swords awaken. It senses the wielder's emotions. Fear, pain, anger, and responds to them instantly. The power of the swords floods the wielder. Their strength increases. Their reflexes sharpen. Their instincts become supernatural. The spirits whisper them. Not malice, but overwhelming. They guide, warn, plead, and sometimes argue, creating the illusion of madness. The wielder slowly loses themselves. The line between their thoughts and the sword's voices blur. Some wielders become heroes, others become tyrants. But all of them pay a price. Because blood swords do not kill. They collect. Every slain enemy adds another echo to the course, trapped inside the blade. And eventually, the wielders can no longer tell which voice is their own. After Lord's disappearance, the world panicked. Rumors of his fall spread like wildfire. Some say he grew tired of humanity. Others believed he was sealed away. And a few whispers that he was betrayed. When the Reapers vanished as well, kingdoms scrambled to claim their abandoned tools. Wars were fought. Empires rose. Entire cities burned just for the chance to wield a blood sword. And then, all 5 swords vanished. Some say they were hidden by Death's followers. Others say the Reapers took them. And a few claimed the swords chose their wielders and hid until the world needed them again. But every once in a while, the blood sword resurfaces, and death follows soon after. The blood swords were forged with purpose, compassion, and divine responsibility. But in mortal hands, they become symbols of fear, tragedy, and raw, uncontrolled power. Each blade contains 1,000 stories, 1,000 lives waiting to be reborn, 1,000 voices echoing through time. Whether they are tools of mercy or weapons of destruction depends entirely on who holds them. And the next time a blood sword awakens, the world may remember why they were feared in the first place. Thank you for watching. If you would like more lore videos or the tragic stories connecting to these swords, leave a comment below. And join me next time as we explore more of Hollowmon.